you have had a week to train. You have a chance to integrate Capita more. Just how has this week been, and how are you in integrating those guys in for going forward?
Yeah, we had a good week of training. We trained Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Had Thursday, gave them a day to recover, and today matched them -1. It was a good week of training. Unfortunately, some guys after Vancouver couldn't train the whole week, so we had to manage that, but that's also part of the job. So we tried to integrate Capita more and more, explaining what we want from him. But yeah, I think he's ready.
Well, it'd be nice to have that speed on both the wings possible.
Yes, that would be nice. Yes, that is plan that we have that. But again, it always depends a little bit what you have around, who is around. But yeah, that's the plan.
What do you expect from Chicago this weekend? They're doing pretty well in the league. What do you expect from their style of play and how you guys match up?
Well, again, I repeat myself probably every week. I cannot control what Greg will prepare, but I don't really expect much different than what we have seen. They're a very good team who has become a little bit more direct than, for example, when we played them in preseason. So I think I expect them to be more direct than we played them in preseason, because that's what they've done. But with that directness, they're pretty dangerous. Yeah, we try to analyze them, give our team a picture of what we expect, but then try to focus on us, because I think that's the best way to do, focusing on us, what we have to do better.
And you're returning to Chicago. What can you tell us about, is there some feelings about returning to a place you coached?
Oh, I've had 3 beautiful years in Chicago. I was 2019 there and worked for US Soccer. My wife and I were living in the city. It's a beautiful city. We met really good people. And then I was 2 years the coach of Chicago Fire, where the circumstances were obviously not easy for everyone, 2020, 2021 in the pandemic with COVID. But overall, those 2 years at Chicago Fire were really nice. I met a lot of really nice and good people at the club, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of them as well. Other than that, it's a game for me in which I go in and want to go there and win and want to have and see a good performance.
As you've talked about, results kind of take care of themselves when you're doing the right things. I guess, what do you want to see from your team to continue to see improvement week after week in this matchup? Yeah, I mean, look, it has been every week a different formation due of injuries, of integration, reintegration, but mainly of injuries. So that is a bit the tricky part, which doesn't give you, especially in the back line, which doesn't give you consistency, which is then not easy. But when we analyze these games, the start of the season, I mean, it's clear what we need to prioritize. We need to concede less goals. We concede way too many goals, too many chances. That is, of course, we are aware of that, and I think that is those are points which we focus on and will focus on for the next 6 weeks until the break, World Cup break, and it has to be probably also a big emphasis in preseason, because with conceding 3 goals a game, you're not going to go anywhere. And with that back line, with the inconsistency, I mean, how do you portray a similar message to everyone and make sure that there's a consistent message across a back line that has been very different week in and week out?
Well, the back line, not being the same back line, obviously having them players together who maybe haven't played a lot together, that's one thing. But the defending aspect is not just the back line. The defending aspect is a whole team. It starts up front, that we all have together from Deki, from the striker, with the wingers. Everyone has to help. We have to defend as a team. And we're doing this in moments really well. We're sometimes pressing well, we're defending well, but then we have moments where we fall asleep, where we do too easy mistakes, where we defend certain areas not well. And that is not just a backline problem. That is then obviously a problem from the whole team, and that's how we try to work, defending with the whole team. And of course, during the week we then also split it into unit work, individual stuff. But defending is a team effort.
And Hugo Kuipers has been in incredible form. You guys have faced a lot of top strikers in this league. I guess, how do you prepare against strikers like that? Does it change when you've got someone who's producing it as high of a level, or what does that look like?
I mean, every player always has individual clips from their opponents, so it's part of the player's work as well to watch these clips, to watch maybe the movements of a striker, of a winger, of his possible opponents, and study the player a bit. Of course, us as coaching staff, we give the team a global picture. of what the team tries to do, what the other team tries to do, how they want to attack, how they want to defend. And of course, we touch on the subject of the striker. And then we try to prepare them. But it's also important that they prepare themselves and watch clips of their possible opponents.
And then Haile Selassie, he's Swiss guy. Is there any Swiss connection there? Do you know anything about him?
No, there is not. I have never trained him when I was in Switzerland. I obviously have met him when we were in Florida in the training camp. We played against them. I've met him, spoke with him, but there is no very close connection. But Switzerland is so small. There's not that many people, so whenever you see a Swiss people, you have an immediate connection with them.
Sure.
I know you had a couple players pick up knocks from last week, but how's the overall health? Is Zoe back into training, ready to maybe see some minutes? Or?
No, it's Diego Borges, Justin Reynolds, and Zoe are all questionable. We have to see now what's going on. But yeah, those three are questionable. Wyatt Meyer is back in. He will be available. And I think the goalkeepers are also back in. So that is very positive. But Zoe, Diego, and Justin, we have to evaluate now.
How difficult, I mean, we've talked, I don't know how many times about, different backline and different formations and all this stuff. How difficult has it been when you haven't been able to have some potentially key guys be in those minutes to get that chemistry and consistency?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, but again, it's part of my job, right? It's part of my job to try to find solutions, to look for solutions. That's what me and my coaching staff try to do. Try to give the team solution with the players who we have available. Now, of course, due to all these injuries, we quite often had to play players out of position. We had to play players left back who are not left backs. We have to play players who are offensive players who have to be wing backs. We didn't have for a long time a right back when Justin was injured. So if he couldn't play tomorrow, then we have again to change. So all of those things don't make it easier. But again, I don't want to be sitting here and complaining. This is part of my job, and my job is then, as soon as I get an information this player is not available, is okay. What solution can we find to make this work? Ideally, I would like to have many other teams every weekend a bit of consistency, but we're not there. So we try to do the best we can. Independently from that, we got to defend better.
Jansen, Chicago this weekend. I guess, what are you guys expecting from that game? They've been in good form, just overall expectations.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a hard challenge. Obviously, they're in form, but I think it's a good time to go there, and, maybe they're feeling good. I mean, sometimes when you're playing teams that are feeling good, they can maybe drop a level. But, yeah, we're excited.
And then Hugo Kuipers is in great form. I guess when you're playing against a striker like that, how do you prepare differently, or do you prepare differently when you're facing a striker in top form?
No, I mean, you definitely know his tendencies, and you know more than if you're playing someone that you don't know as well. But I wouldn't say I prepare differently. There maybe is a little bit of a sense of, hey, this is one of the top strikers in the league, and it's more incentive to, hey, can I shut him down? So.
And then Rapha was just talking about how overall as a team the defending needs to improve. And so I guess what steps have you guys been making to make sure that happens?
I think just the mentality. I mean, obviously last week was a long and not great of a week, but I think training this week has been good. Kind of resetting the mentality, what we need to do, and defending as a team. I feel like in the last 4 or 5 games, it's been a lot of individual duels. Hey, he'll do it, but I think just become more of a team on the defensive side, and then I think once we become more of a team on the defensive side, that's going to turn into the offensive side.
What are some of those difficulties when there's been a lot of different lineups and different players and different positions? Sometimes you're center back, sometimes you're more of a wing back, or all these things. What are those struggles like for you or for the other players?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, but I think that's why we get what we get paid to do, is figure out what the coach needs from us, and just staying ready. I know personally I think throughout the whole season I've been in the lineup, out of the lineup, back and forth the whole year. So just staying ready, whatever they need me to do, I'm ready. So yeah, it's just part of being professional.
Sometimes when you're not in the starting lineup, is that more motivation to work harder, or what is that like?
No, I think just staying ready. I've also been subbed into every single game except one. So I think just staying ready and then helping the team close out a game or get back into a game, just whatever role I'm needed, I'm ready for it.
Just kind of not soccer related, but St. Louis guy going to play in Chicago. Any love of Chicago?
No love of Chicago. Yeah, I don't like the Cubs. Don't like the Blackhawks. I actually have probably the second most people that I'll have at a game in Chicago. I've probably got 25, 30 people going this weekend. So